With each month comes a wealth of new content added to Netflix. We recommend Someone Great, Cruel Intentions, and the Attenborough documentary Our Planet. Express.co.uk rounds up everything coming to Netflix next month for April 2019. April 1 The Mask of Zorro. After being imprisoned for 20 years, Zorro, Don Diego de la Vega, Anthony Hopkins, receives word that his old enemy, Don Rafael Montero, Stuart Wilson, has returned. Don Diego escapes and returns to his old headquarters, where he trains aimless drunk Alejandro Murrieta, Antonio Banderas, to be his successor. Meanwhile, Montero, who has secretly raised Diego's daughter, Elena Catherine Zeta-Jones, as his own, hatches a plot to rob California of its gold. This is the end in Hollywood. Actor James Franco is throwing a party with a slew of celebrity pals. Among those in attendance are his buds Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, Danny McBride and Craig Robinson. Suddenly, an apocalypse of biblical proportions erupts, causing untold carnage among Tinseltown's elite and trapping Franco's party in his home. As the world they knew disintegrates outside, cabin fever and dwindling supplies threaten to tear the six friends apart. The boy WHO harnessed the wind. Reviews. What do critics have to say? Cruel Intentions. Annette Reese Witherspoon unwittingly becomes a pawn in Sebastian's, Ryan Phillip, and Catherine's, Sarah Michelle Gellar, deliciously diabolical wager of Al conquest when she writes an article in 17 magazine about how she intends to stay pure until she marries her boyfriend. However, Sebastian gets more than he bargained for as he attempts to woo Annette into his bed. Like Michael Newman, Adam Sandler seems to have it all, but his wife, Donna, Kate Beckinsale, is increasingly frustrated by the amount of time he has to spend at work. Michael cannot find time to be at home until he meets an eccentric inventor, Christopher Walken, who gives him a universal remote that controls time. At first, he happily skips the boring times until he realizes the remote is in control of his life, and he learns to cherish all the precious moments with his family. The body of a murdered woman, hid by her husband so that he could be with his young girlfriend, goes missing from the morgue. When the husband is called in for questioning, he starts receiving messages from beyond the grave. The Highwayman on Netflix. How to stream, plus release, cast and more. April 3 The unthinkable Sweden is under attack by an unknown force, and in the midst of the chaos, Alex, Christopher Nordenroth, tries to reunite with his girlfriend. Susanna, buried alive after a pregnant woman is murdered. Her spirit seeks revenge against her increasingly terrified heirs, who are determined to finish her off for good. April 5 Unicorn Store Kit. Brie Larson, a 20-something dreamer, receives an invitation that would fulfill her childhood dreams. Our Planet. Exhilarating visuals and stunning footage of rarely seen animals mix with somber truths about humanity's impact on the planet's habitats and species. April 8 War Dogs. With the war in Iraq raging on, a young man, Jonah Hill, offers his childhood friend a chance to make big bucks by becoming an international arms dealer. Together, they exploit a government initiative that allows businesses to bid on US military contracts. Starting small allows the duo to rake in money and live the high life. They soon find themselves in over their heads after landing a $300 million deal to supply Afghan forces, a deal that puts them in business with some very shady people. April 12 A land. Imagine the cop in Singapore investigates the disappearance of a Chinese migrant construction worker who spent sleepless nights playing a mysterious video game. Hulk biopic. Will Chris Hemsworth play Hulk Hogan in Netflix biopic? The perfect date to save up for college. Brooks Rattigan, Noah Centineo, creates an app where anyone can pay him to play the perfect stand-in boyfriend for any occasion. The silence when the world is under attack from terrifying creatures who hunt their human prey by sound. 16-year-old Arlie Andrews, Ian and Shipka, who lost her hearing at 13, and her family seek refuge in a remote haven. But they discover a sinister cult who are eager to exploit Allie's heightened senses. Mighty little beam and innocent toddler's boundless curiosity and extraordinary might lead to mischief and adventure in his small Indian town. Aquaman, will this Aquaman star be in new Netflix Hulk Hogan biopic? April 17. Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason. The sequel to Bridget Jones's Diary finds Bridget, Renee Zellweger, working as a TV host and still dating barrister Mark Colin Firth. But Bridget is jealous of the time Mark spends with a co-worker, Jacinda Barrett, and, despite a vacation meant to smooth things over, ends their relationship. On assignment in Thailand, she has a dalliance with her disreputable ex, Daniel Hugh Grant, and is temporarily jailed on the false accusation of drug smuggling. Before Mark comes to the rescue, Savage's California entrepreneurs Ben, Aaron Johnson, and Jim Taylor Kitsch run a lucrative business raising marijuana and share a one-of-a-kind love with beautiful Blake Lively. Life in Laguna Beach is idyllic for them, until Elena Salma Hayek, the merciless leader of the Mexican Baja cartel, moves in and demands a piece of the action. However, Elena underestimates the trio's unbreakable bond, and with the help of a shady DEA agent, John Travolta, Ben, Jin and O go to war. Dr. Seuss. The Lorax 12-year-old Ted, Zac Efron, lives in a place virtually devoid of nature. No flowers or trees grow in the town of Thneedville. Ted would very much like to win the heart of Audrey, Taylor Swift, the girl of his dreams, but to do this, he must find that which she most desires, a troll tree. To get it, Ted delves into the story of the Lorax. Danny DeVito, once the gruff guardian of the forest, and the once lawyer, Ed Helms, who let greed overtake his respect for nature. April 19. A fortunate man, a gifted engineer, flees his austere roots to pursue wealth and success among Copenhagen's elite, but the pride propelling him threatens to be his ruin. Music teacher burned by his past, unemotionally troubled, small-town music teacher risks everything he has to reconnect with a now famous former student. Someone great. Aspiring music journalist Gina Rodriguez, has just landed her dream job at an iconic magazine and is about to move to San Francisco. Rather than do long distance, her boyfriend of 9 years, Lakeith Stanfield, decides to call it quits. Nurse her broken heart, Jenny gathers up her two best friends Erin, DeWanda Wise, and Blair, Brittany Snow, for one outrageous last adventure in New York City. From writer, director Jennifer Caton Robinson, creator of MTV's Sweet, Vicious, Someone Great is a hilarious and heartfelt story of friendship, love, and what it means to let go of your 20s and enter adulthood. Brené Brown, The Call to Courage. Best-selling author Brené Brown discusses what it takes to choose courage over comfort in a culture defined by scarcity, fear and uncertainty. April 20. Grass is greener. It lit up jazz and hip-hop, and ignited a war on drugs steeped in racial injustice. Experts explore America's complicated relationship with weed. April 25. Aurora. Fatal shipwreck spurs an islander innkeeper and her sister to recover the missing victims' bows, until the dead come seeking shelter themselves. Baywatch. When a dangerous crime wave hits the beach, the legendary Mitch Buchanan, Dwayne Johnson, leads his elite squad of lifeguards on a mission to prove that you don't have to wear a badge to save the bay. Joined by a trio of hotshot recruits, including former Olympian Matt Brody, Zac Efron, they ditch the surf and go deep undercover to take down a ruthless businesswoman whose devious plans threaten the future of the Bay. April 26 Remastered, Devil at the Crossroads. Robert Johnson was one of the most influential blues guitarists ever. Even before his early death, fans wondered if he'd made a pact with the devil.